Hello friends, how are you all? This is Lakshya Roda and welcome back to my channel. So in this video I will be explaining you how you can create EC2 instance, VPC and Subnet using Terraform. So let's start. So those guys who are new to Terraform, so I would suggest download VS Code. That is basically a very good editor for your any type of coding like Python, Java and Terraform, and for YAML scripting. So VS Code is a very good editor. You can start downloading that in your machine and then you can move on to writing code. So let's start. So in Terraform, as I told you in the previous video also, every file ends with .tf extension. So I will keep on noting these points here, so you can pause the video and note down in your system. Every file ends with .tf extension in Terraform. Okay, and as a best practice in Terraform, we segregate files. How we segregate files? So in Terraform, we can make use of a single file like main.tf, which I will be using in these videos, and but as a best practice we basically use different files of variables like vars.tf, different files for main code, main.tf, different files for provider.tf. so this is how we basically segregate files in Terraform. So now let's come to the main point. So now we will start writing code to create EC2 instance and VPC and subnet. So how we can do that? Let me move on to our main.tf file. So in Terraform, every code starts with a provider block. So providers are nothing just like, you can say, plugins which Terraform needs in order to build and deploy the code on your AWS, maybe Azure infrastructure. So every provider block starts like this: Terraform required providers, and then comes your AWS. You don't need to remember this entire code. I will tell you where you can find this provider block. HashiCorp, AWS, and then version. What should be the version? Okay, let me move on to Terraform AWS documentation, Terraform registry. So this is the provider block. Simply you can copy this and paste here. Terraform required providers, AWS, source, HashiCorp, and then version of your provider. This is the source of your provider, this is the version. So with this block, Terraform will basically download your provider, AWS provider. Now let's move on to this section. Here we declare the region in which we need to deploy our resource using Terraform. So I will be using this US East 2 region, US East 2 region, and now I need to provide my access key and secret key. So access key and secret key are used by Terraform to log into your machine to authenticate your account in AWS, because when you are deploying your code through Terraform to this AWS account, how will Terraform come to know about authentication? So Terraform uses these access keys and secret keys for authentication purpose, and this is the region in which your code will be deployed, and this is the provider. Now I will be pausing my video and I will be shifting this code to another file, because these keys are secret keys, so I cannot show you these keys. So now I have shifted my provider section in a different file because it is having the secret keys that I cannot show you guys. So once it is done, then what you can do, you can start your actual resource creation. So let me first write it and then I will explain you. Resource AWS instance, and then your ID, then your Amazon machine image. I will leave it empty as of now. Instance type, and the instance type I will take t2.micro. and what else, we can take tags and then name I will give Ansible master. Okay, so alright, that's it. Let me explain you this code. So in Terraform, after we have declared the provider section, we need to declare the actual resource. So what we are doing, we are basically creating AWS instance, AWS EC2 instance, and giving it a ID which is unique. So this Ansible is the ID which is unique, and this is the Amazon machine image which I will give now. Amazon machine image, let me take it from here only. Ubuntu 20. I will create 3 Ubuntu machines. Okay, then you need to give your instance type, the type of instance you need to create, t2.micro or any other one that you want to give, you can give, and then tags will be the name of your machine. So this is the complete resource block which is required in order to create an EC2 instance. You can also add some other parameters to customize the configuration, but as of now, to make this video simple, I will be taking these parameters only. And now what next? Next we need to declare VPC. We need to create VPC, then again resource, and then AWS underscore VPC and your VPC ID, and then your CIDR block, so you must, if you are aware of basic AWS or basic Azure, then you will be able to understand these parameters like Amazon machine image, instance type, tag, CIDR block. And after CIDR block, you can check instance tenancy equal to default, and then give tags name equal to my VPC. Okay, so this is the block which will create your AWS VPC, virtual private cloud. So CIDR block of your VPC, instance tenancy I have taken default, and the tags given to your VPC. And now let's create a subnet. Same things, resource AWS underscore subnet, and then your subnet ID, and then your VPC ID, because every subnet is linked with a specific VPC, so that's why we are making use of VPC ID over here. AWS underscore VPC dot ID, and then your CIDR block again. This CIDR block will be 24, and then give a tag to your subnet name equal to my subnet. Okay, so this part is done. We have written code for AWS instance, for VPC, and for subnet. So some of the guys must be wondering, since if they are new to Terraform, they must be wondering how to decide this, how to decide the parameter, which parameter to take and which parameter not to take. So for that you can make use of documentation. If you will go to AWS Terraform documentation and search for VPC here, so you will get AWS default VPC. So this is the basic code, basic format to declare a VPC: resource AWS default VPC default, and give it a tag. And similarly for subnet, you can search it over here. So this will automatically come by practice, you don't have to worry about that, you don't need to remember the entire code. just focus on the basics. So resource AWS subnet, subnet ID, VPC ID, CIDR block, same thing which I have declared. So this is the basic format. And now what I need to do, I need to attach this EC2 instance to this subnet. So I can write subnet underscore ID equal to AWS underscore subnet dot ID. So how it is fetching? AWS subnet is the this one dot subnet and dot ID, similar to the one we use for VPC ID. So let me reiterate through this code quickly. First we declared the provider section, declare provider section. Okay, in provider section you need to declare all your parameters like region of a provider, version, source of a provider, which can be taken from here. This is the link. And then you need to declare your main code. So main code will be, it will contain your resource type and your resource ID and the parameters. Just like this, AWS EC2 instance contains your Amazon machine image, machine type, subnet to which it is attached, and the tags, and similarly for VPC and similarly for subnet. So yeah, this is it, and let us now run this code. Main.tf provider.tf terraform.exe. okay, so first command is terraform init. As I told you in the previous video also, so terraform init basically initializes your providers. It downloads the plugins and providers at the backend, so it will do an initialization. Terraform has been successfully initialized. Now we need to make a plan using Terraform plan. It will generate an execution plan, like what Terraform needs to create, what it needs to destroy, what it needs to update. So just like that, it creates an execution plan. Okay, so it has created an execution plan. Let me go through this plan once. So Terraform uses selected providers to generate the following execution plan. Resource actions are indicated. Terraform will perform the following actions. AWS instance.ansible will be created. Okay, and these are the different parameters. So the parameters which we have already given are present here, and rest of the parameters are not known to Terraform since we haven't declared, so it is showing as known after apply. v2.micro is the instance type, and then tags Ansible master we have given. Okay, so this is how it is evaluating all the things. And then come AWS subnet dot subnet will be created. Okay, that is fine. And then CIDR block 10.0.10/24 is a CIDR block, and which is linked to the VPC. Okay, and tags I have given my subnet. Okay, and similarly for VPC it is creating the CIDR block, instance tenancy is default. Okay, and then tag is my VPC. Okay, everything looks fine, and now we are good to run Terraform apply. Now it will ask for a confirmation so that it is allowed to provision the resources on AWS. Okay, so now it's asking, do you want to perform these actions? Only yes will be accepted. I will type yes, and it will finally deploy your resources, your EC2 instance, your VPC, your subnet. And this is the link. You can refer this documentation. It will really help you during the starting purpose, during the starting. Now it's creating AWS VPC, still creating. It will take some time to create our VPC. Now it's creating subnet. VPC creation is complete, as you can see. Subnet creation is also complete. Now it's creating the instance. It will just take a couple of more seconds, and then it will be done. Let's wait. So yeah, apply is complete. 3 resources have been added. If I go to my EC2 console, AWS console, I will see EC2 instance. Okay, Ansible master is the name, and if you remember, I gave this same tag Ansible master, and this is the instance type t2.micro, which I selected over here. And if I go to instance ID and go to VPC ID, so my VPC will be created. My VPC is created. Okay, and similarly, if I go to subnet, my subnet should be created. My subnet is created, and CIDR block is same, and here also this is a CIDR block which was expected. Okay guys, so this was it. So let me show you before let me show you one more thing. In interviews, this question is asked oftenly: count equal to 3. No, not here. Let me declare here. So in interviews, this famous question is asked about Terraform, like if you want to provision 10 or maybe lot of EC2 instances, more than 5, more than 10, then will you be writing the code that multiple times? Let's suppose you want to deploy 10 EC2 instances, so will you be writing the code 10 times? So obviously no one will be writing the code 10 times. They must be using a parameter, so that parameter is called count parameter. So this count parameter will help us to deploy the virtual machines to the number which is defined over here. If I say count equal to 2, then it will create 2 virtual machines, 2 EC2 instance, sorry. And if I define count equal to 4, then it will create 4 EC2 instance. So the number of count is equal to the number of times the EC2 instance is getting deployed. So I have put it to count 2, and now let's generate an execution plan. Now it will show up that one EC2 instance needs to be created because one is already created and count is declared as 2. So 2 minus 1 equal to 1. So one EC2 instance still needs to be created. It will give a warning. It is refreshing its state. So all this state is taken from tf.state file. If I go to here, go to downloads and Terraform, so see, these are the state files: terraform.tf state, log.hcl, tf state. So these are the state files basically. See, plan 1 to add, 0 to change, 0 to destroy. So now it will add one more EC2 instance. Let me run Terraform apply. Auto approve, so that it will not give the warning, it will directly deploy. So Terraform is idempotent. Idempotent nature. Terraform is having an idempotent nature. It means that it will only detect the changes and deploy only the changes. It will not deploy entire things from scratch. It will only deploy the changes. So that's a good nature of Terraform. It is refreshing its state, and now it's planning to add one more EC2 instance, and hopefully we will see one more EC2 instance here in some time. Okay, so yeah, it's pending. It is already created. It is in the creation state. It is still in okay, it's in running state, and the tag is same because I haven't changed the tag. I've given the same tag, just increase the count parameter. So yeah, it's done guys. Okay, so two EC2 instances are now created. So yeah, that's it guys for this video. This was just a basic video to help you understand the basic concepts and how to write a basic code in Terraform. You can start exploring the documentation and let me know in the comment section if you have any feedback or anything which you didn't understood or any suggestions you have. I will definitely try to include that in the next video. So yeah guys, thank you for watching and bye bye.